Today with Mark Sutcliffe returns on 1310 News and simulcast on Rogers TV.
Sandra Plagakis is here from the Kiss FM morning show. Good morning.
Good morning.
And you brought something with you.
I did. Well,
I hope you're watching. I hope you're. For those of you who are listening on the radio right now, I'm sorry. You'll have to watch this on YouTube, I guess.
That's right. This is going to be theater of the mind. That's right.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to wish you a happy 1-year anniversary.
Thank you.
On 1310 News. I know you're thinking, God, it feels like 10. It's only been 1 year. I realize that we didn't do anything.
Is 1 year paper? I think 1 year is the paper anniversary.
Well,
isn't
I
it?
think normally it would be, but because you have such a huge salary, there is no budget for anything else at 1310 News.
Not even for a sheet of paper.
We wanted to order a cake, but then we're like, but Mark's salary is so big. Forget about it. Then we wanted to get balloons, and we're like, but Mark's salary. So I went down to Joanne's desk in sales where she has a disco ball, and I've got a light on it right now. So you see, we're getting a little party going here in the studio. So,
and when you say disco ball, for those people who can't see it, it is barely bigger than a Rubik's Cube. It's about the size of a softball.
No, listen, if somebody's listening to this on the radio, they don't need to know. Okay. You could just tell them it's like giant. It's dangling from the ceiling on a giant thing, and it's been shipped in from Sweden. They don't know. Just tell them.
Okay.
And there's 85,000 LED lights on it, so it's sparkling right now in the studio. Actually, I turned the light on my phone, and I'm getting a little light on it right now. And I just want to say happy 1 year feels like 10 anniversary.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Just stay still for a sec because I want a picture.
Okay. Are we actually?
I want a picture of you holding this miniature disco ball. It might be the smallest disco ball in the world.
Well, it's festive.
And you've got the flashlight from your phone that you're shining on the disco ball to create.
It would have been a bigger disco ball.
Reflected light.
Had it not been for that giant Mark Sutcliffe salary.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I drive in Aveo because of you, Mark. But anyway, where were we?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, thank you. I appreciate. We're doing our best to fancy up the studio a little bit.
I do have one confession to make. That part about the cake, it's true. We actually couldn't afford a cake, but we think well of you.
I don't expect anything.
Okay, well then we're good. Then we have a great relation. If you expect nothing and then we don't get you anything, we're even, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I find it's better to go through life that way.
Lowered expectations has always been the key to happiness.
Yeah.
If you don't expect anything, you're never disappointed.
Yeah.
That is very sad and cynical, but it works.
So I'm not expecting like a surprise party when I walk out of here at the end of the show. So just so you know.
Okay.
I'm not expecting anything.
I see people scrambling now. They're running around. But no, don't expect anything. We're good.
So Adele, I guess, told off a security guard.
Oh, my God, Adele. But only the way Adele can, Only Adele would stop a concert in Melbourne, Australia, and have words with the security guard who is telling people, paying customers to sit down.
Excuse me, sir. I know you work here, but you can stop telling people to sit down. This is a music show. If people can't see, then they can stand up. If you're moaning about people dancing, then what the fuck have you come to a show for?
I can barely make out what she's saying there, but she's saying it's a music show. Don't tell people to sit down.
I can't even believe that even happens in the world where people are ever told to sit down at any kind of a rock concert or whatever. But I will tell you this, that happened to me when Paul McCartney, when did he come to town? 5 years ago, 6 years ago now?
Something like that. Yeah, was it that long? It was around the same time the Eagles came because I remember I went to both concerts and that kind of blew my entertainment budget for the whole year because the tickets were these are
I know,
big,
but they're
big
bucket list concerts.
Yeah,
you have
exactly.
to go.
Yeah.
I went to the Paul McCartney concert, and when somebody comes in on stage for the first time, you all jump up and you're all dancing, you're all doing the thing. Well, the thing about Ottawa is that 99.9% of the audience at that point will sit down.
Yeah.
I stayed up for the entire concert, and I was getting my groove on. I'm having a great time. Halfway through the concert, I kid you not, someone threw an empty beer can at my head. I turned around to look at the culprit, but 50 guilty faces were looking back at me, so I'm convinced now they all got together and decided that was the best way to get me down.
They all chipped in and
I think so.
And convinced somebody to throw a beer can.
Somebody chugged it and went, throw it at the girl who won't stand down. Well, I'm a Greek woman, so I stayed up even longer than I normally would have. You're not going to get me down now. So then we called Canadian Tire Center to say, is there like a policy we don't know about? The only policy is this. You can't stand on the chair. But if you stand on the floor, you're fine. Of course, it's a rock concert, Ottawa, and now Melbourne. Get with it. That's awful. And you're like, I'm sorry, I can tell.
You weren't blocking anybody who was sitting in a lawn chair, though, right?
I know, that's
Remember
the worst.
that whole thing at Blues Fest?
You know what,
People
here's
who
the
go
thing.
and stake out their spot a year in advance and sit on the lawn.
Lawn chair people, I'm sorry. Just go to the side and don't think that you can take that prime real estate from the standers. You can't, you shouldn't, it's wrong. But you're looking at me like you're a sitter. Are you a sitter?
No, I'm more up and down over the course of the concert. But I don't mind if somebody else is standing up. I understand they're there having a good time and they're dancing. That's totally fine. I don't object to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure it wasn't you. Okay, I was just checking. Yeah. I was testing you.
No, I mean, I was in that section. I may have, I may have cheered when they got through the can. I didn't know you at the time, of course. But
of course. But that actually happened at an Ottawa concert. So I know there's a lot of people who like to sit and take it all in. But you know what? It's not the NAC. Sit down and shut up. No, stand up and shut up is what I should say.
Exactly.
Stand up and enjoy it.
Don't sit down.
Don't sit down.
Yeah, I take that back.
Yeah, absolutely. Where's my disco ball? I need this again for a prop.
Kim Kardashian is finally talking about what happened to her with that armed robbery in Paris, I guess.
Yeah. If you watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and I know you do on Sunday nights on E, I know you don't talk about it though, so I'll just talk about it like I watched it. I save up all the
episodes and then I binge watch them.
Well, we can kid all we want, but what happened to her is absolutely harrowing. Sure. Yeah. And we've heard some of the reports about how it went down, but she actually vividly described it on the episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians on Sunday night. And she really felt at one point that she was going to be sexually assaulted, and she described the moment where she saw a gun and thought for sure she was going to be shot in the head. And you got to feel for, any celebrity any person who has to go through that. But I think at the very least, I think a lot of celebrities are beefing up their security as a direct result of this. I wouldn't even call it a security breach because she didn't really have security that night, but it's a reminder.
That's the weird thing, though.
That is the weird thing. The most photographed woman in the world doesn't have security. And I guess she just got too comfortable in her life a little bit and forgot who she was, which is nice in theory, but, so scary when you think about what could have been. But I keep thinking, thank God her kids weren't there with her, and they weren't. They were elsewhere. And had they been there, this story would have been, just the worst.
Yeah.
Not to say it wasn't the worst now, because it was pretty bad. But I also feel for her husband, who had to hear about that story. And I know he, as a direct result, he sort of had a bit of a breakdown afterwards. And I think that her robbery was probably a contributing factor to that. It had to have been, thinking, God, I wasn't there to help her. What could I have done different? I didn't do all those things. I bet you he has that guilt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think when something bad happens to someone you care about and you're miles and miles away, then you feel even worse about it, right?
Absolutely.
You feel disconnected from that person. You feel,
But she says her marriage is better than ever. Things are good, and it's all great now. So that's good.
Okay.
I know you were worried.
Yes, I worry. I'm all the time. I go to sleep every night. As long as Kanye and Kim stay together, please. When I kneel down and pray every night
to the baby Jesus,
that's the first thing.
Sweet baby Jesus, this is all I ask for.
I pray for my own kids, and then I pray for Kim and Kanye.
Oh, you're a good man, Mark. Yeah. You really are.
Thanks for the disco ball.
Well, you're not keeping it. I have to bring it back to Joanne. Sorry.
Okay. Thanks anyway. Thanks for sharing it with me for 10 minutes.
Okay, wait a second. I got to get that light going again. Okay. We're going to do this, right? Okay, Here you go. All right, you're welcome, Ottawa.
Give it a spin. Give it a little spin. There we go.
Look at that. Here we go.
Nice.
Party.
You look good in that light.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sandra. Sandra Plagakis from the Kiss FM Morning Show.
You're listening to Ottawa Today with Mark Sutcliffe on 1310 News and Rogers TV. Mark will be right back.